Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, it is my privilege to welcome you to the adoption of the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Argentina, India, and Morocco. We will now proceed with the adoption of the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Argentina. The troika for this report consists of the representatives of Pakistan. Her Excellency, Ms. Anna Batistine, Deputy Permanent Representative of Pakistan to the United Nations in Geneva, who on behalf of the Troika will introduce the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Argentina. Your Excellency, you have 5 minutes to give you the floor.
I am so sorry. I am also a delegate from Pakistan. My colleague has issues with the computer. So I will ask if I can take over.
Yes, you may take over. You have the floor now.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President, fellow delegates, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to serve as Troika for the Republic of Argentina. I thank you for this opportunity. We would here like to list all the recommendations received by Argentina and the Excellencies. The delegates of the Republic of Argentina read the recommendations received. Argentina accepts the recommendation received by Morocco concerning the appointment of an ombudsman. Concerning education, Argentina accepts relevant recommendations received from Pakistan and Morocco. The Republic of Argentina has accepted the recommendations concerning hate speech received from South Africa, care system from the United Kingdom, Convention Against Torture from the Kingdom of Morocco. The Republic of Argentina accepts recommendations concerning deforestation by the United Kingdom and South Africa, abortion, the Republic of South Africa, and recommendation by the Republic of India. Lastly, the Republic of Argentina has decided to subject Pakistan's recommendation regarding the healthcare system to further examination. The Republic of Argentina wishes to thank once again the Republic of Argentina for their collaboration and professionalism. Attention.
Your Excellency, we apologize, but you seem to have technical difficulties because we were not able to hear you quite well.
Should I repeat the speech?
We would kindly ask you to either repeat or reconnect to your internet connection or choose another representative who may take the floor, since your audio was cutting off.
Okay, so I'm trying to repeat the speech once again, if that is okay with Excellencies.
Your Excellency, you may turn off your video to improve the internet connection so that we are able to only hear the audio. And you will be given 5 minutes again to present. And you have the floor now.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President, fellow delegates, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Honored to serve as Troika of the Republic of Argentina. Unity. We would here like to list all the recommendations received by Argentina and the position of their Excellencies, the delegates of the Republic of Argentina, the recommendations received. Argentina accepted recommendations received by Morocco concerning the appointment of an ombudsman. Concerning education, Argentina accepted relevant recommendations received from Morocco. Moreover, the Republic of Argentina has accepted concerning
Your Excellency, excuse the interruption, but your audio keeps cutting off when we're not able to understand you, unfortunately. Yes, and also other delegations have troubles understanding you. Could you call the Zoom number that we provided to you beforehand?
Okay, I'm gonna try. Thank you.
Dear Excellencies, we suggest to switch to the attention of India right now, and during this time, the other delegate can fix the internet issues that they are currently facing. So we will now proceed with the adoption of the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of India. The troika for this report consists of the representatives of South Africa. Her Excellency, Ms. Anita Islam, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa, who on behalf of the troika will introduce the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of India. Your Excellency, you have 5 minutes, and I give you the floor now.
Thank you, Madam President. Distinguished delegates and members of the Human Rights Council, South Africa, representing the Troika for India, shall now present the outcome of the working group session. India has received 12 recommendations in total. 6 recommendations have been accepted, 5 have been noted, and 1 recommendation has been subjected to further examination. Argentina handed in 4 recommendations. Due to incorrect wording, 1 cannot be accepted, and the second recommendation was not presented within the interactive dialogue. The third recommendation from Argentina on creating more safe spaces for women and to sensitive men on gender-related issues to abrogate destructive practices such as honor killings and selected abortion of female births has been accepted. The fourth recommendation on taking all necessary measures to strengthen and implement the National Act on the Prohibition of Child Marriage of 2006, especially focusing on the compliance of the official age needed by girls to be married, has been accepted. From the Kingdom of Morocco, there has been 2 recommendations. The first recommendation to introduce stricter laws and enforcement of regulation on air quality has been accepted. The second recommendation to continue its efforts to ratify the Convention Against Torture has also been accepted. From Pakistan, the first recommendation to take legislative measures for banning child labor, especially in hazardous sectors, and for fighting bonded labor has been noted by India. The second recommendation to allow a fact-finding mission to investigate the issue of Indian-occupied Kashmir and to take the necessary measures to allow for freedom of religion in Indian-occupied Kashmir has also been noted. From South Africa, the first recommendation to ratify the Convention Against Torture has been accepted. The second recommendation to continue the discussion regarding the abolition of death penalty has been noted. And thirdly, to further pursue the goals of the National Clean Air Programme has been accepted. Lastly, from the United Kingdom, the first recommendation that India expedite the ratification of the United Nations Convention Against Torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment and its optional protocol, and also the total elimination of capital punishment in Indian law has been noted by India. The second recommendation to ensure fair access to the internet adhering to international human rights standards has been subjected for further comments. And lastly, finally, the last recommendation for the government of India from the UK was to ratify the 2014 ILO protocol to the Forced Labour Convention in order to stop child labour, which has been noted by India. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your presentation and for the work of the Troika. Before adopting the recommendation section, I would like to recall that any comments on the recommendation section need to be made now from the floor. Delegates who want to make comments can raise their hands now so that they will appear on the Zoom chat on the right. Are there any comments? If yes, please raise your hand now. Delegation of Argentina, you have the floor now.
Thank you. The delegation of Argentina would like to thank the State of India for taking part in this UPR cycle and its shown efforts and openness to improve their national human rights situation. The delegation is pleased to note that the recommendation forwarded have been accepted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Are there any more comments? Since there are no further comments, Your Excellency, Ms. Balabayova, you have now 2 minutes to add further remarks to the comments made by the reviewing state.
Thank you very much, dear Madam. Our Excellencies, dear distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to once address our appreciation and gratitude to the members who actually gave the recommendations to our national report. We have benefited immensely from your comments, queries, and recommendations by promoting civic awareness and throughout campaigns and developing an effective system with the assistance of the collaborating members in the Troika taking part in this conference. We are all open to any measurements which will bring prosperity to our nation. India is and will be committed to the implementation process of accepted mechanisms, and we would like to appreciate those recommendations which were accepted by Indian delegation, including air quality, empowerment of women, and some other related factors and suggestions about ratifying Convention Against Torture. India will definitely consider all these factors and include all these problems into our national report. Please accept our warm regards to let us be engaged in this Universal Periodic Review, and let us once again mention how proud we are to be part of this interactive dialogues and recommendation boards. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now propose that the working group adopts the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of India. Are there any objections? I see none. The recommendation section of the report is adopted. I now give the floor to Her Excellency Mrs. Balabayova, Attorney General of the Republic of India, for her final remarks. Her Excellency, you have 2 minutes. You have the floor.
Thank you very much once again, Madam President. We would like to once again thank for all of the delegations who accepted our national report in the regards. As we mentioned it previously in our opening speech and in final remarks in interactive dialogues, we would like to thank all the delegates who had their initiatives in our working through this national report. We would like to appreciate all the recommendations given by the delegation of Argentina, Morocco, Pakistan, and some other delegates, including South Africa. We would like to thank all of these member states and thank you for once again to Madam President. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We have received the message that the delegation of Pakistan is now available to deliver the speech. So we will now proceed with the adoption of the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Argentina. The Troika for this report consists of the representatives of Pakistan and Her Excellency, Ms. Anita Battistin, Deputy Permanent Representative of Pakistan to the United Nations in Geneva, can now present the report. Your Excellency, you have 5 minutes. I give you the floor.
Thank you, Madam President, fellow delegates, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It was an honor to serve as Troika for the Republic of Argentina, and we thank them for this opportunity. We will here like to list all the recommendations received by Argentina and the position of their excellencies in the delegates of the Republic of Argentina vis-à-vis the recommendation received. Argentina accepted the recommendation received by Morocco concerning the appointment of an ombudsman. Concerning education, Argentina accepted the relevant recommendation received from Pakistan and Morocco. Moreover, the Republic of Argentina has accepted the recommendation concerning hate speech received from South Africa, the healthcare system for the United Kingdom, and the Convention Against Torture from the Kingdom of Morocco. The Republic of Argentina has noted 4 recommendations concerning deforestation by the United Kingdom and South Africa, abortion by the Republic of South Africa, and the recommendation posed by the Republic of India. Lastly, the Republic of Argentina has decided to subject Pakistan recommendation regarding the healthcare system to further examination. The Islamic Republic of Pakistan wishes to thank once again the Republic of Argentina for their collaboration and professionalism. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your presentation and for the work of the Troika. Before adopting the recommendation section, I would like to recall that any comments on the recommendation section need to be made now from the floor. Delegates who want to make comments can raise their hand now, and I will call you to take the floor. Are there any comments? The delegation of Morocco may now take the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. The delegation of Morocco would like to thank the Republic of Argentina for its commitment towards working towards the guarantee of human rights, and would like to thank the Republic of Argentina for supporting the recommendations made by the Kingdom of Morocco. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now give the floor to there is no hand anymore. Are there any comments? I now give the floor to the delegation of South Africa.
Thank you, Madam President. This delegation of South Africa would like to thank the delegation of Argentina for accepting our recommendation toward hate speech. Nevertheless, we would like to emphasize the implementation of a stronger enforcement and monitoring mechanism to ban deforestation, as it still has dreadful environmental and human rights consequences. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Are there any comments? I see no more comments. Your Excellency, Ms. Janine Rüther, you now have 2 minutes to add remarks to the comments made by the reviewing state. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I want to thank the delegates from Morocco and South Africa for their words and for their further comments on our working group report. And we want to highlight that, of course, it's a pleasure to the Argentine Republic to show commitment in human rights, and that this is the fact for all the member states. And we would further highlight that we would like to further discuss on the ban of deforestation, but coming back again to our national report, this on forest and climate, this is in discussion, and we are looking forward to working on this in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now propose that the working group adopts the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Argentina. Are there any objections? I see none. The recommendation section of the report is adopted. I now give the floor to Her Excellency Ms. Rüther, Secretary of Human Rights and Cultural Pluralism of the Nation of Argentina, for final remarks. Your Excellency, you have the floor. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you again, Madam President. Honorable Chair, distinguished fellow delegates. Noticing that the morning session comes to an end, the Argentine Republic would like to thank all of the contributing actors to this fruitful discussion. First of all, the delegation would like to thank the Troika, namely the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, for exchanging ideas and working together on solutions for creating a sustainable future, underlining the importance of human rights. Fully supporting the willingness to work together on issues of this utmost importance shows that the collaboration of the member states is highly relevant. Secondly, the delegation thanks their peers for contributing to the well-balanced discussion and the exchange of numerous ideas, possible solutions, and recommendations. Thirdly, the Argentine Republic thanks the President of the Human Rights Center for allocating the platform to exchange between the actors involved in human rights issues. Concluding, the Argentine Republic would like to make some remarks on the working group report and is looking forward to implementing recommendations and enhancing the humanitarian situation in Argentina. Most notably, the field of education after the pandemic is of utmost concern, since children are an essential part of shaping the future of our country. Additionally, the Argentine Republic will further work on the Convention Against Torture in line with the further expansion of the Integrated National Committee to Prevent Torture. Developing a national plan against hate speech, specifically against disadvantaged parts of the population of minorities, is noted as a highly relevant issue, as well as ensuring an equal access to abortion. Concluding, the Argentine Republic would like to thank all of the involved actors again and looking forward to further cooperation and building a future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, to you and your delegation for participation in this review. We will proceed with the adoption of the recommendation section of the report on the review of Morocco. The Troika for this report consists of the representatives of the United Kingdom. Her Excellency, Ms. Komoto, Minister for Human Rights, who on behalf of the Troika will introduce the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Morocco. Your Excellency, you have 5 minutes. I give you the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam President. It is a great honor and privilege on behalf of the Troika to present the draft report of the working group of the Universal Periodic Review of the Kingdom of Morocco. During the interactive dialogue with the Kingdom of Morocco, 5 delegations delivered their statement and 1 state sent advanced questions. As a result, Morocco has addressed a total of 10 recommendations. Madam President, the Troika would like to thank the delegation of Morocco led by Mr. Petuzis, Minister of Human Rights, and the other delegates in the processing of drafting of this report. Morocco decided to accept 6 recommendations. Recommendation number 3 from India on safe education and environment for Western Sahara children. Recommendation number 4 and 5 from Pakistan on poverty eradication and an improvement of the condition of detention facilities. Recommendation number 7 from South Africa on the adoption of anti-discriminatory law. Recommendation number 9 and 10 from the UK on changing law on pre-trial detention and on signing the optional protocol of the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Morocco has decided to note 3 recommendations. 1 from Argentina, recommendation number 2, on accountability of fathers of children born outside of marriage. Recommendation number 6 from South Africa on signing the 2nd optional protocol of the ICCPR. And recommendation number 8 from the United Kingdom on freedom of expression of journalists. Finally, Morocco reserves the possibility to examine recommendation number 1 from Argentina regarding modification of the penal code. With this in mind, the Troika submits the working group report for its adoption. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Excellency, for your presentation and for the work of the Troika. Before adopting the recommendation section, I would like to recall that any comments on the recommendation section need to be made from the floor now. Delegates who want to make comments must raise their hand. Are there any comments? Delegation of South Africa, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Madam President. We want to highly reiterate our recommendation towards the Kingdom of Morocco regarding the death penalty, since it was already recommended to Morocco in the previous cycle. We would ask Morocco to reconsider its decision on the ratification of the 2nd optional protocol to the ICCPR aimed at the abolition of the death penalty. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now give the floor to the delegation of Argentina. You have the floor now.
Distinguished Madam President, fellow delegates, the delegation of Argentina would like to thank the Kingdom of Morocco for taking part in this UPR cycle and its efforts shown today. The delegation was surprised to hear that one of their recommendations have been noted and would like to urge the Kingdom of Morocco to reconsider and to categorize the recommendation as subject to further examination. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I give the floor now to the delegation of India.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you to the government of Morocco that taking into consideration our recommendations about the preventing violence and discrimination in the school along with days. Thank you very much for your consideration and for your time.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Ms. Ella Pitoussis, now have 2 minutes to add further remarks to the comments made by the reviewing states.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to the fellow delegates for your continued interest in the well-being of human rights in the Kingdom of Morocco, for your recommendations put forward to our delegation, which we have closely examined with the help of our Troika state. Firstly, we would like to comment on the first recommendation put forward by the delegation of Argentina and examine it further. We identified that there were 2 separate issues mentioned in this recommendation, and would like to mention that the second part of the recommendation regarding marital rape is an issue we are working to acknowledge in discussions on justice reform. We are very pleased to have supported 6 out of the 10 given recommendations, in particular the recommendations from Pakistan regarding reducing poverty and improving conditions of detention facilities. And in addition, the recommendation from the United Kingdom regarding accession to the optional protocol to the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. It's a national priority in line with our commitments to improving women's rights. The recommendations that are noted, we can affirm that they will be involved in future dialogue and continue to be under consideration. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now propose that the working group adopts the recommendation section of the report on the UPR of Morocco. Are there any objections? I see none. The recommendation section of the report is adopted. I now give the floor again to Her Excellency Ms. Ella Pitoussis, Minister of Human Rights for the Kingdom of Morocco, for her final remarks. Her Excellency, you have the floor now and 2 minutes.
Thank you, Madam President, and I would also like to take this opportunity to thank you specifically for facilitating this important review session. The Kingdom of Morocco would also like to sincerely thank our Troika state, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, for their efforts in assisting with the compilation of the working group report. On behalf of my delegation, I can say that we believe it has been a fruitful review and one from which Morocco has much to consider and take forward in its continued efforts to promote the human rights agenda within its borders. The Kingdom of Morocco looks forward to providing detailed follow-ups in the item 6 addendum in the short future. Thank you to you all for your participation.
Thank you, Excellency, to you and your delegation for the participation in this review. We will now close our morning session for lunch break, and we will reconvene at 2 p.m. I shall recall that the afternoon session will consist of the review and adoption of the working group report of 3 states under review: Pakistan, South Africa, and the United Kingdom, which will have the opportunity to present their national reports, receive recommendations from reviewing states, and draft their working group report, which shall be adopted in the respective adoption session. Thank you very much.